council is in session. Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello there.
Do we have anyone there yet? We've had an hello from Benjamin already. I think he's been waiting for a good 20 minutes, bless him.
Yes.
Hello. So how are we all?
Splendid. Yourself?
We are good.
We're fantastic here, thank you. Yes, fantastic. Oh, hello from Connor as well. Hello, Connor. Right. Are we going to get straight into it, or does anyone have anything to say before we do?
No, I got some show and tells, but we can do those whenever.
Okay.
At your discretion. It's very disturbing watching it on YouTube at the same time because there's a lag.
Is there?
I can't do that. I can't do that.
I don't do that. I just hope that it's going to YouTube and that'll do. Fingers crossed. Well, we've already got it up on screen. If anyone knows of a better website for me to use to show these things off, please holler it out now. I suppose we can always change over as well at a later time if we need to. But it'd be nice to get going to a smoother start. I've not done much homework myself for this. It's a case of going to Google and typing in SDCC toy reveals and clicking enter, and then scrolling down past the videos.
Yes.
That's as much homework as I've done. And Toy Art came up and it's like, I think I've heard of them before. Well, we'll use them. So if anyone uses something else or thinks there might be a better way to display these to everyone, please let me know. Let me know. Well, like all of us know. There's 3 of us here. Apparently, Mattel have got I quite like the idea of a Steven Spielberg figure. I never, ever thought of a Steven Spielberg figure until I clicked on this page.
That is clever. Yeah, you do that. So you could do a whole behind the scenes how it was shooting kind of setup, couldn't you? Diorama, perhaps.
I now need a George Lucas as well, though.
Well, you can just pinch the head off the George Lucas Stormtrooper that came out last year and put it on.
Yeah, but we could do, but then we need the body of some lesbian.
Go for a thinner version.
Fat check shirt.
The Gap.
Put it. I'm sure there's 1 or 2 Stan Lee figures out there that you could rip the head off and put it on that body.
Too thin. I like what someone's done with the Greedo, though.
Oh yeah, Greedo Jones.
Yeah. Greedo whipped first.
Apparently, though, according to this, the Jurassic Park 30th anniversary Steven Spielberg figure has already sold out. So,
obviously,
I doubt I'll be stocking those. Unfortunately,
what sold out before it's even gone on sale?
Yeah.
How did they manage that then?
No idea. You tell me. It's always happening at Hasbro Pulse, isn't it?
It's the magic of pre-orders.
Yeah, that's a bit of a sore subject. We won't go into that.
No. Let's try to keep it positive. Are there any fat action figures out there? Yeah, there we go. I suppose we could stick it on a Jabba.
Or Gamorrean Guard, possibly.
Oh, poor George.
They're quite chunky.
Kingpin figure.
Again, maybe too large. Maybe too. And he's always in a suit, isn't he?
He is. He's always very dapper.
We could do George Lucas at the premiere. I think that's the only time he wears a suit. What about the Muhammad Ali? Is any Ali fans? Looks like a 2-pack.
No, 2-pack. 2-pack with a rapper. That's Muhammad Ali.
Oh. It looks like a pack of 2.
Yes.
A pack of 2 Muhammad Ali's.
Yeah,
765, it says.
Yeah, it looks like he's recreating the scene from the Sonny Liston fight where he floored him. You know, you may have seen the famous picture where he stood over you know, the list, and then he's like got his fist swung like that.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice figure. Well, both of them are. That one's obviously just. Well, I'm saying obviously. I'm guessing that's just one of the wrestling referee figures, but with an Ali head.
What is it? Ali? Is it supposed to be Ali in a bow tie?
It looks like it.
Yeah, it says 1985 above it. So you've got the one from 1976, and then one from 1985.
Oh, right. No, right. Though that won't be Ali, and that won't be recreated post from the Liston fight. Then the Liston fight was way before that. So what year were it? 76.
Yeah. His knees disturbed me.
Who we fought in 76? That was towards back end of his career. Well, that 76. We're getting we're getting that way anyway. Getting towards arse end. I mean, they didn't retire about early 80s, I think, or 80 something like that. But yeah,
Interesting. It does. That was quite nice.
Yeah, fought Joe Bugner in the 70s. I'm pretty sure he shot that might be in late 70s when he fought Joe Bugner. It's all right if you're into that. I'm not. I can't say I'm one for sports action figures. It's not.
No, not at all.
It's not my thing.
It's not my thing. I wouldn't have this.
It's not. It looks like it's. I don't know. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Not mosaic. Do you know what I mean? It looks like it's got lots of different figures kind of stuck together somehow. Just the way they've done it. It's kind of curious. Sort of
he's also got no gum shielding either, because they've put the detailing of his teeth.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and then they spoil it with the soft goods.
You don't like soft goods?
Not all 6-inch figure lines get soft goods really good. They either look just like really crappy, or they look good. You know, I think they have to be done with quite fine fabric and fine stitching to be to pull it off.
That's
where something like that looks like something that your mum's made for your action figure, you know, while you've been at school.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, but it's not like they're charging you an extra $5 for it, is it?
What? Why who charges you extra for soft goods?
All of them.
Do they?
Yeah, you always end up paying more for soft. NECA is renowned for it.
Does NECA do so? I thought NECA were all just
no, they do soft goods.
Right.
They do make soft goods. I remember the first Gremlin that they brought out, the Flasher Gremlin. They'd done a couple of Gremlins already, and then they brought out Flasher Gremlin, and it was exactly £5 more expensive to order than the previous ones.
Yeah.
I was like, you robbing?
Could be worse. It could be a Hot Toys figure where the cape just disintegrates.
Yeah. I dare take my Darth Vader out of the box. I'm terrified that I'm going to look at it just open it out. While it's in that box, it's perfect, it's mint, it's brand new in my head.
It's Schrodinger's Vader.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
What you're saying. Yeah. It's Schrodinger's Vader.
I know that as soon as I take it out, it's just going to be all slates inside the box.
It'll turn into a Force ghost as soon as you open the lid.
Which, to be fair, to be quite frank though, is absolutely disgusting. The amount of money you pay for them.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And that happens.
I sold, I think it was 6 of the Deadpool from the first Deadpool movie on pre-order to people. And a couple of years after I'd sold them to them, someone told me, "What's all this strife I'm hearing about with the Deadpool and his outfit disintegrated?" He said, "Mine's perfect." He said, "I've had it out on display since launch. It's absolutely perfect." So I said, "Sell it now. Don't wait. Sell it now."
No, it's not.
There's lots of sauce in my head.
Yeah, it's not. It's not Greedo. It's Phoebe Waller-Bridger in Indiana Jones.
Ouch.
I can see it in the eyes.
Mm.
I've just realised what the idol is as well.
Yeah, it's
It's
Mace
a Mace
Windu.
Windu head.
Yeah. So, does
That's
the
cool.
Greedo Indiana Jones come with this set, or is that just
I
for
have no idea.
the photograph?
I don't know, because the tagline, the headline for it said that it was Mattel.
Right.
Mattel releases. So obviously they
Yeah.
won't have the Indiana Jones, would they? It's Hasbro, is that? But yeah,
Right.
Interesting. What's that?
Tell.
They've been having fun.
Destro.
They've been having fun.
I'm not well off my Action Force, but I was going to say that.
It's a naked Destro. Well, it's naked. He's Destro's collar anyway, and head. I don't know what scale is that. Is it a 3 3/4?
Could be, couldn't it? I was just assuming it was 6-inch.
Just looking at them photos, I'm not convinced that it's 6-inch.
No.
And I don't like the articulation point there at the hip. You know, the top of the leg.
Yeah. That could be 3 3/4, couldn't it?
That's like the alley figure, isn't it? Same modelling that.
3 3/4 inch scale directors. Yes, there you go.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought they didn't look 6-inch.
Now, that's an interesting thing because as I've been populating my Detolf with various sort of ancient figures, what would you say the most common figure size is? Because I've seen so many that I've got sort of lined up from my sort of battle beasts up to my centurions and anything in between, really. But sort of, I wonder what they tend to go for as a preference.
In recent years, it's definitely 6-inch.
Right.
Recent years. And I put most of the responsibility for that at Hasbro's feet because they've taken on a lot of new licenses and they've made sure that everything is 6-inch because they wanted it to be interchangeable. If you wanted to put your Green Ranger next to Darth Vader, you could do. Don't know why you'd want to, but you could do.
I think they've also made some of the parts interchangeable, haven't they? Like the hands and heads and things like that.
Although what's strange is even though they're 6-inch scale, apparently, if you put a comic book Marvel Legends figure besides an MCU Marvel Legends figure, there's a different scale there, even though they are supposedly 6-inch.
Right.
Yeah. The comic book ones seem to be slightly taller.
Yeah.
Anything else there? Is it just going to be those two? Is that the packaging it comes in? That's Hot Wheels, it says.
What's Hot Wheels? What Hot Wheels?
Well, Mattel do own Hot Wheels, don't they?
Sorry, I thought you meant like it was the Hot Wheels Steven Spielberg. You know, like
I assumed because the next you go from the Steven Spielberg pictures and we haven't seen a box. I assumed that this next one was the box, and it says Hot Wheels on it.
Right. So it's going to be the Jeep, isn't it? It'll be the Jeep.
Yeah.
You know, like the little Wrangler. It's the Jeep Wrangler, and then it'll be the whatever the other ones are. Well, the Ford, were the Ford Explorers, were there?
All right. Well, it can show you the next one there, did it?
No. Because Iron Man raced Thanos at Mario Kart.
And also shoots webs, apparently.
But the thing is, though, people buy this tat. It's just like...
Gotta have them
all. If those were released on blister cards, I wouldn't like them at all. But the fact that they're actually together in a box like that, I think it looks quite cool.
Well, there's definitely a market out there for it, but it's just I think it just goes to show that if you slap Marvel or Iron Man or whatever on, just much like Star Wars before it and Transformers, you just slap the name on something, people will buy it, you know, and it's just like I think you've got to be a bit more discerning than that. Just choose your battles with what you buy and collect.
So it looks like Hot Wheels are revisiting Star Wars.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
interesting.
die-cast ATST, is it?
Yeah, but I want to know why we're getting an ATST with Chewie and not just an ATST.
Is the Chewie removable?
I don't think so. It looks like it's stuck well in there.
Okay.
Oh!
To be fair, just scroll back, Gareth. To be fair, it don't look great anyway. It looks a bit.
No.
That's the trouble with. I mean,
It's
just
gonna
me
be
personally, but
big.
I think when you go to small scale die-cast stuff like that, it don't look good, because the paint application on it loses a lot of detail that's in the die-cast.
Did the ATST even have a huge gun coming out of its left-hand side?
It had two different guns, yes. One was bigger than the other.
Okay.
But it weren't
As big as that.
That's
That's
as big as that.
Yeah, that's a rather excited ATSC.
Yes, it is, yeah. Comzilla, which one do you think looks pretty nice?
I think you mean you were on about the
We're
Iron
looking at the
Man and
Marvel
Thanos thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Iron Man and Thanos, yeah. I'm not sure about them. I'm always giddy when I see new Avatar The Last Airbender products, but I'm not sure about these baby chibi things.
Not
sure.
something I've ever gotten into.
Have you never seen it?
I've seen a bit of it. I've seen a bit of the film, I think it was, but not the cartoon massively.
Go and watch the cartoon.
My son is watching it at the moment.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's
Yeah.
the ATST that Connor likes. Okay,
Right.
Interesting. I think as a package, the box and then the thing inside, it looks quite nice. In a day and age, though, when they're supposed to be cutting down on plastic and companies are trying to push that they are cutting down on plastic, that seems to be an awful lot of plastic for what's in there. But
maybe it's because they want it to sell.
Yeah, maybe. But what I think what's happened here is that Mattel have done a deal with Hasbro and they've said, all that plastic that you didn't use, can we have it?
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting this is Mattel. So how's Mattel got the license to produce something like this?
Because they're doing die-cast models. The license isn't for everything Star Wars. It's for certain specific
It'll
things.
get chopped up, won't it? So they can give various bits to various other people. Yeah.
Hasbro has the license with Star Wars to do 3 3/4 inch figures, 6 inch figures, and judging by the Titan Hero lines, they've got 12 inch figures. They've probably got some other licenses as well, but then the die-cast one goes to Mattel. Obviously paid more for it. It benefits them more anyway through the Hot Wheels line.
Who produced those die-cast X-Wings and Millennium Falcon that my son's got in his room? You know, them ones that you put on it's got like a plastic stand.
Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Hot Wheels did
Mattel.
that.
Yeah, my son's got some of those as well. I've got those in a box these days. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they were Hot Wheels. And then obviously your premium licenses then go to Hot Toys and whatever else. Yeah. Where do we get to? What's this?
So I got this a while ago. This is a Hot Wheels Star Trek ship. It's the Vengeance. Is it Vengeance? I think it was from.
The last few days, I've been sorting out the top floor at the shop. And I don't know if you remember, Ed, but I used to do the mystery boxes. The last one that I was working on before I decided to stop doing them anymore, I picked up shed loads of the Vengeance Hot Wheels model. That was going to go into the next box, and I found a pile of 20 of those today.
Hey, that's coincidence for you.
Yeah.
That's unplanned, I promise.
So if they're rare at all, it's because I've got them all.
You've got them all. Funny.
It is a great cartoon. It's more than just a cartoon as well. It builds mythology and lore within the world really well.
What cartoon's that?
Avatar, I think.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, I've been calling it something else to tease my son.
I can imagine. I know you very well.
He's like,
I
Dad,
don't
shut
think
up.
I don't think we're going to go over this.
No, it's one to pass on.
Yeah, I think the artwork on the packaging is probably going to be better than what's in there. Although the artwork on the cards might be quite nice.
That's got to be Minecraft.
I guess it's got to be Minecraft, doesn't it? Surely.
Minecraft, doesn't it?
Creeper.
A panda.
Oh no, it's a panda. Okay.
Yeah.
Panda on a block of soil.
These will not be available at Cosmic Toys.
It's got its standards. That's not one of them. What is that?
That's a Pokemon. I believe it's called Magikarp.
Is that a Lepin? Is that a Lepin Lego? Is it an official Lego? Oh,
Well,
it's
Mega Block.
It's Mattel, isn't it? So it's Mega Block, Mega Constructs.
Oh, we're still on Mattel, are we?
Yeah, this is a Mattel article by the look of it.
Right.
And we're back to the beginnings. That's it for Mattel by the look of it.
Yay!
Yay! We can move on now. Hasbro. Do we want to delve into that one now or save it to the end?
It's up to you. Just work
Let's
its
get it out
way
of the
through
way.
if you want. Just work its way through.
Yeah, we'll just go as it goes through. What does it say? Anything specific there? They're exclusives, locked behind a code you had to obtain at the show in person. But now they're going live for everyone because not enough people went compared to how many that they made. Check them out on Hasbro Pulse. Transformers Dawn of War 2. But there's no pictures. That's no bloody good, is it?
Do you need to click on the main image?
Perhaps they
Or
can
is there
get
a link?
I think maybe you've got to go through to their site to see them. I think.
Oh, well.
Right,
That was quick and easy.
Well,
Every action figure and collectible link you need in one spot. I don't want to go clicking on all sorts of websites.
Why don't you go back to your home?
Late for that one, isn't it?
Oh, good lord.
Do we need another Ron Burgundy figure?
Right, is the Ron Burgundy figures?
Just links. Has anyone got a better idea for a better website to use? Entertainment Earth display.
Short of, self-referencing YouTube, probably not.
Yeah, I didn't want to do the video thing. I weren't quite comfortable doing it last time.
Yeah, that might be
last week.
Might get complicated. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt a little bit like I was riding on someone else's coattails.
I know what you mean.
It didn't feel. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was Pixel Dan, and he's got more than enough followers and everything. I'm fairly sure he wouldn't mind me sharing it out anyway. But it's still, it rankled a little bit, so I didn't want to do that again. So I thought picture. I mean that. I'm doing the same. Someone else is taking the pictures. Well, that's quite varied, isn't it? I bet that Buzz Lightyear doesn't sell well.
I bet there are stacks of them somewhere that have just been left to gather dust. Bless him.
See, that looks like a statue, but I know that it's a deluxe action figure.
No, you can see articulation.
Yeah, I was going to say he's definitely got knee joints. Yeah.
It looks nice though. It looks nice.
Go Power Rangers.
Is that Black Ranger?
How'd you guess? That's something that really bugged me a little bit about Power Rangers.
What's he holding? Is it a turkey baster he's holding?
I think it's the Red Ranger's sword.
Oh, really? What, the Red Ranger's sword?
Yes.
Really?
It's not that kind of channel.
What
Super
happens?
Sentai.
What happens in the Megazord stays in the Megazord.
Do you know who Entertainment Earth is?
Are they a shop, a dealer, or what? I don't know.
They're a distributor.
Right.
So
That's why it's so varied.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll find there'll probably be stuff in here from Mattel, Hasbro, McFarlane, you name it. It'll all be there. I'm guessing this is a Hasbro.
Right.
It looks like a what they call them? Lightning Collection, Power Rangers Lightning Collection.
Right. Well, click through them. There might be some.
Wow,
Okay. It won't be similar. Dark Knight. Good God.
No.
It'd go quite well in there, actually, wouldn't it?
That's very, very green.
Please leave your retinas at the door.
Vibrant is that? It's McFarlane. I can just about make out the logo in his crotch there. What does Gap have to say? These look good. The Batman TV series, Batman and Robin figures by Beast Kingdom. I can't post the link because I haven't been bestowed the magic wrench. Would you like a wrench, sir?
Is that the one where they've got the bat poles and they've got them labelled up and stuff?
You know, this is why I haven't been giving people wrench rights, because I don't use YouTube, do I? I use StreamYard.
Oh, yeah, you probably have to do that on the tubes.
Yeah, you do. I'll silence us on there.
What's next?
We can give Benjamin. You are now a moderator, sir. Right, Gap, you're not even on. Gap's not even on my blooming live chat, so I can't give him a wrench. Right, next. Wow. That's Scarecrow. It's a version of Scarecrow.
Okay, yeah.
Are they doing an entire lineup of these? And
there's a theme going on.
Black and white.
That's that.
Don't like that.
I've only been reading about him recently. Is that
the
Batman Who Laughs, isn't it?
That's right, yes. The Batman Who Laughs.
Looks like someone's just thought, I'll shove bat ears on Judge Death.
Yeah, it is a bit Judge Deathy, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, that's a fair comment.
I've not read it, so I'm not 100% up on it. It's either Benjamin will correct me in the chat. It's either a version of Batman that became the Joker, or it's a version of Joker that became Batman.
No,
it's one of those.
I believe it's Batman got infected by a virus that Joker developed and got transmuted into a Joker-like Batman. I think.
Right, okay. So Batman become a version of Joker then?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. I don't know what that's supposed to be. All that.
Oh, God.
Are these the same as those Avatar things that we just had?
They do look very similar. The faces are very similar, definitely.
I quite like that nanny robot from the Jetsons. Sorry, Ed, I've just realised that nobody can see you.
Yeah, you're obscuring his
physical. He's back. Yeah.
Who's hit what nail on the head?
What's that? Sorry.
Benjamin says he's hit the nail on the head.
What? Andy has.
Or was it me shaking my head at the little mini Star Trek figures?
All that.
Jesus Christ.
That is creepy as hell, that doll. Am I supposed to know what this devil box thing is?
What's it say? Ask me a yes or no question. Are these crap toys ever going to end?
About the Batman Who Laughs. Yeah, but wasn't it me that got it right, or was it Andy? I think it was Andy what probably got it right.
Andy.
Possibly.
He's looked it up. I haven't.
It's only because I sometimes get those videos from like comics channels where they sort of serialize the comic on the video.
I quite like the Twilight Zone figures there. I wouldn't have them though. Not that the glow in the dark aspect wouldn't look nice in my cabinet. Yeah. Andy got it right. There we go.
I thank you.
Right. There we are. Gap's begging again. He wants a spanner. There you go. I've bestowed the power upon two of you tonight.
Bestowed the mighty wrench.
I can just hear them now. I have the power! And then their little kitten beside them says, and I have the power too.
What, so
I had to explain that to someone at work this week. That was quite depressing.
What, the Masters of the Universe intro?
The whole thing, yeah, all of it.
That's why when he roars, it looks like he's saying something, because he was. Right, there we are. That's the end of Entertainment Earth. They didn't have a lot to show, did they? This could be quite a short episode.
But I can do a little show and tell as an interlude if you like.
Would you like to?
I can do.
he's chomping at the bit.
Go on then.
Well, this is unusually. It's not going to be a toy on this particular occasion, but this. Are you going to put me huge?
I'm trying to.
I wasn't looking for this. I was actually looking for something completely different, but I fell upon this. And this,
I bet that hurt.
But I think this was the first comic I got that was a sort of US comic, but like a modern one from a shop in York. One of the first specialist comic shops I ever went to when I realised such things existed. Okay. And it was also the first time I discovered that A, someone had done a crossover between Aliens and Predator, and B, that someone actually did comics about films as well. Because it just hadn't occurred to me that could be a thing, you know? But these were really, really nicely done. And they went on to really sort of... the film Alien versus Predator is kind of loosely based on these comics. And these must have been... I don't even know when these were. 1990, I think, from the looks of it.
As early as that?
Yeah.
92, 93.
So it was a whole sort of little mini series of them. But this was one of those ritual Predator.
5 issues? 5 issues?
I think 4 actually, but I'm missing one, unfortunately. So I think it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, 4 or 5. Quite a short run.
I think there was a 0.
But again, this was when they were doing their sort of initiation hunt. So it was when the planet got seeded with a few alien eggs, and the idea was that the Predator initiates would go down and hunt them with fairly primitive weapons, sort of hand to hand mainly. But of course it goes horribly wrong because a cheeky queen manages to get a queen egg on board their lander, and of course that spawns another queen, which spawns eggs, which spawns a lot more aliens than the Predators were expecting when they landed. So they have to do a team up with a human female named Michiko, and she then joins the clan. And that's kind of Aliens versus Predator. The film was, I think was somewhat inspired by that comics run. But I had a whole Aliens phase when I got into the Aliens comics, because the actual sort of expansion of the universe in the comics was really, really impressive if you were that way inclined. So yeah, I don't disagree, Mecca. I think they were. I didn't hate the movie, but I think the comics have more depth to them just because of their setting.
Mm-hmm. I checked. The reason I thought there was 5 is there's an issue 0.
Oh, there's a 0. Okay.
So that technically there's 5 because of that, but even on the 0, it says issue 0 of 4.
That's confusing.
Yeah, just a little bit. So yeah, there are technically 5.
But I just really liked it. I like the artwork. And I like the concept because we'd never really seen that side of Predator because I'd only ever seen the films. So seeing that as the idea that they have to do a sort of initiation rite with aliens, and just that idea was kind of mashing those two seemingly completely unrelated universes at the time together in a comic, I thought was a terrific idea. So that was one of those things, just those little sparks, that sort of gets you thinking. It's clever.
The thing that set it off was the trophies shown at the end of Predator 2.
Yeah, that was clever.
There's an alien, supposedly an alien skull there.
It's a
I think the mistake that they make with those films is the same mistake that they've made with the Transformer films and other films like that. Is that
humans?
they bugger it up with putting humans in. You know, it's just leave them out. Let it just be. I mean, they proved that you can a film can be carried in its entirety by the subject matter with the like the remake of the Planet of the Apes films. You know, I mean, I know there were some humans in that, but they were quite minimal compared to the screen time spent with the apes. You know, so if it's written right, directed right, and acted right, your main focus of the film can carry the film. You know, but the Alien versus Predator films aren't great, but they're all right to just switch your mind off for an hour and a half or however long they are. You know,
the first one, when I watched it a second time, I enjoyed it an awful lot more. But the
I like Prey. Have you seen Prey?
Yes, yeah, I quite like Prey.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I'm not a fan.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. The first, it's the first one. You won't top that. You won't better the first one.
Oh, there we go. Too many humans ruin the movies. We need a protagonist Predator movie surrounding Ahab. Oh, yes. Yeah, Ahab is a Predator character from the Dark Horse comics.
Okay. I'm trying to think which one, if I know.
He's the one that goes hunting the white whale.
Yes, all right. Maybe not that literally. But
You're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you, Ed.
Is there anything you want to show off, Ed, while we've paused?
Probably, but
remember, this is YouTube, not OnlyFans.
Yeah, no, I need to think of something to show because I've been a bit scatterbrained today. So you'll just carry on, and when I think of something to show, I shall interject.
Okay. Oh, Connor going against the grain. He likes the second AVP film.
Oh, the one that's that you have to turn the brightness and contrast right up on your TV to see.
I'll tell you what I like about that one. If it's the one I'm thinking of, is that's. I mean, A gave us the Pred Alien, which again I think the comics had probably already done, but it also gave us a very, very smart Predator. Because like he was clearly kind of top of the class to be sent down solo to hunt down a swarm that had gotten out of hand. He was like the cleanup crew, wasn't he? Remember? Is that what I'm thinking of?
I don't know. You're not mistaking the other one where there's that like uber predator comes down with the predator dogs and starts hunting down the loose predator.
It's not that one. No.
And then it turns out, I think that's the one where it turns out that predators have actually got human DNA in them. And it's like, what?
Oh, that's the most recent one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
it was the one before Prey came out. Although saying that, I didn't mind the one with Adrian Brody in Predators.
Yeah, I can say yes. There's Predator, Predator 2, Aliens versus Predators all over the place, and then there's Predators.
Yeah, there's Alien versus Predator Requiem. That's the dark one. You know.
There you are. You mentioned White Whale for Ahab.
Is the engineer from Alien?
Yes.
Oh, right. So one of the engineers.
Yes. Well, they weren't called engineers back then. They were called Prometheus. No, they weren't called. What were they called?
It was called the pilot originally, wasn't it? He was the pilot for the longest time, I think, before they actually gave him a race name or whatever.
Well, to be
fair,
that was in the first Alien film, but just Ridley Scott just wanted something
the space jockey. The space
jockey. But it wasn't meant to mean anything. It was just like put it in because it looks weird and alien looking. Yeah, it wasn't meant to be anything really. And it's like, ooh, what's that? But like say us fans, we see something. It's like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what can that be? And it's like, and then writers are thinking, oh crap, right, we better make something of this now.
They came up again in the Alien comics quite early doors, I think. The black and white one, they pop back up again.
Right. Because I'm pretty sure in the original Alien film, when you see it in the original Alien film, the space jockey, it's a lot bigger than what it is when it comes to Prometheus.
Yeah, it was huge, wasn't it? It was a humongous thing. Yeah.
He's not wrong there. The Pred Alien did look quite cool. It was a very cool design. A good melding of the two. It was just plot-wise. The fact that they had such a tiny budget, they had to blow up the power station at the beginning of the film so that the rest of the film could be shot in total darkness.
Yeah, to hide the bad CGI.
Yes. You spend the rest of the film like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening? I can't see anything. And I think it's also the same film where they are holed up in a gun shop. They leave the gun shop, get somewhere, and then start complaining that they've got nothing to use against this alien creature. And you're like, you were just in a gun shop.
Yeah, it's the horror film trope, isn't it? You're in the house. Everyone in American horror films walks through their houses with no lights on. They hear a noise that comes from the cellar. They go down to the cellar armed with a torch. And it's like, right, okay, you all have guns. Take the gun, turn the light on. You know, it's just like, it's like, no.
This guy was badass in Alien vs. Predator Requiem, the solo Pred in the film. There was nothing wrong with the creatures or the characters. There was nothing wrong with the Predators and the Alien.
No.
This guy, he's the one that's got the crisscross, isn't it, from the net that the Predator fires, isn't it?
That was the first Alien vs. Predator film.
We're talking the second.
Yeah,
the one that comes down to hunt the Pred Alien.
Right.
The Pred Alien hybrid.
All right. Okay.
Let's be honest, though, they were both way better than Alien Resurrection.
But we got the Betty out of Alien Resurrection. I really liked the Betty. That was a cool ship.
Yeah, but it was just, I mean, it was Firefly.
I don't mind Alien Resurrection. It just does the same thing that all of Joss Whedon's stuff does. It dates badly within 6 months.
Yeah, I think the thing with Alien Resurrection is there's a good story in there. It's just that it's not brought out. You know, it could have been so much better. And
Sigourney Weaver is fantastic in there. She's so spooky.
Yeah.
She really is. She plays a fantastic part.
It's got some really good moments in it, definitely. Because like all the sort of early attempts to create her when she finds them, and that moment's quite that's nicely done. Interesting one, that one. Yeah.
Gap tends to agree with him. I have to admit, I did like the alien. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
And it was also bloody terrifying to look at because of the human skull.
Yeah. But to be fair, they copied that from the first Alien film because it had a translucent head. You could see a skull inside.
I think one of the early prototypes of the Alien for the first Alien film looked like that as well. Actually,
well, that it did in the original Alien film. It's got a translucent dome.
But I think it had more of a face originally.
Yeah. And the toy, the big 12-inch toy,
that one as well,
had a translucent thing.
I'm guessing he means the Eagle Moss one.
Yeah, I've got that one. Yeah, yeah.
But I think they've missed a really good opportunity. We're not going for the Neil Blomkamp Alien film. You know,
I'm lost there, Connor. Has anyone seen Creature, also known as Titan Find?
Not ringing a bell for me.
Don't know what he means on that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean there, Titan Find. You gents, I've heard about Master Replicas in the... Oh, yes.
I have, sir.
Yes. Yeah. I think we discussed it in a previous episode, Gav.
I've tried to draw a line underneath my Eagle Moss collection, though, so I'm not actively pursuing them at this point. So yeah.
Right, okay. Shall we move on? What's that stuck to my sock?
Face hugger.
Let's get this back up. And
Yeah.
oh, it's just you. You're on your own.
I'm on my own.
You are. What's
The
going on?
Underverse booth.
No. Oh, right. We've screwed this up now, haven't we? There we go. You're on top now. Right, so
Top the
I've never heard of Underverse.
Ultra Underverse.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. We have a gallery of Ashley Wood's Underverse booth.
Underverse.
Ashley Wood's distinct art style.
I was thinking Riddick. But,
these more like art toys then? Yeah, I think they are. They're not going to be the kind of thing that I think many of us would be interested in, to be fair. I mean, that looks quite good.
They're well executed. They look like they could be from games, actually, don't they, almost?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Them two things at the back look like rip-offs of Astro Boy.
I can see what you mean. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I don't think it's going to be anything that any of us would be interested in collecting though, or buying.
Yeah, Gap. I didn't go for any of the Stargate ones. I couldn't quite convince myself because they were really pricey when they first came out. So I didn't indulge in any of the Eagle Moss Stargate ones.
Why are they all squinting?
It's very bright in the Underverse.
Obviously.
I'm guessing there's a Japanese influence. That picture there looks a bit like a Quark from Doctor Who. The thing is, I know this is not something that any of us are interested in, and it's probably not going to be something that most of the viewers are interested in, but I know someone that would love pretty much everything that's been on the screen so far.
Mr. Slimehouse, you thinking perhaps?
No, he's not.
Oh, I thought he quite liked this sort of stuff, actually.
It's a friend of mine called Nick. I mean, I'm not saying that Theo wouldn't like these, but these are very much up a friend of mine's streets.
Okay,
Nick,
interesting.
if you've ever heard of Toy Art or Toy Finder, he's the man behind those little subsidies. I'm going to take that back off the screen because we can't see Ed again. And now he's done that thing from Jaws where he zooms out.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks a bit like Claptrap from Borderlands. You know, the thing that's on one wheel? That little robot thing. There we go. Well, we got through that one quickly.
Indeed.
So what's next? Super 7.
Silverhawks.
Super 7. Look at those.
Sorry, I didn't say that right. Silverhawks.
Is that right?
That's how they say it in the intro, yeah.
Okay.
It's Thundercats, only it's birds, basically, in space.
It doesn't say on that label there, but I'm assuming this is prototype colours. That can't be the final colours of this van.
There's a new film out, isn't there?
There is, but this is supposed to look like the original toy.
Okay.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, it'll be prototype colours. Well, that'll be just so they can show it off.
Yeah, and you do realise there's going to be some collectors out there that are really spaffing over these colours and will demand one to be made in this colour scheme.
I can't believe that made it out of the exhibition alive. Someone will have secreted that away somewhere for a gazillion pounds when it sells at auction later.
I like how that side door opens just like the original toy as well. That's quite cool. and then the range of figures to go with it. That Shredder's got a wicked looking mask, hasn't it?
Mm.
So I mean, obviously, yeah, I know the turtles, but what are they? They're supposed to be like replicas or reissues of the original figures.
Yeah, these are 7-inch, fully articulated, lots of accessories, but designed to look like the
Right.
original.
So
toys.
it's like the He-Man Origins line then, but for turtles.
No, because they're the same size and scale and everything as the originals. They literally are the originals, but with new articulation, aren't they?
Hmm.
These are upsized to 7 inches,
Hmm.
and then with better quality paint apps and things. I mean, these are like 50, 60, 70 quid a piece.
I mean, there have been so many iterations of the turtles. I've got no idea what flavour of them these are.
Yeah, I think they're very strange. The fact that they are. They started bringing these out around about the same time that NECA started doing them as well. And NECA's license was their idea was they want their figures to look like they looked on screen in the cartoons and in the movies. And then they were like, well, we can't do the same thing. What shall we do? Oh, well, we'll do the same size figures, but make them look like the original toys. It's really, I think it's a really strange.
But don't they do the eyes differently? In the comics, I think they had those white eyes, like you can see on that spacesuited one.
Yeah.
Then I think in this TV series, they had eyes with pupils, so they were a bit different.
Right, yeah. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
But then you've got Shredder there, and you can certainly see his eyes. And then we've got Misfits. See, they're weird because they look like He-Man figures.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, maybe that's what they are. Maybe the He-Man figures made to look like, something else.
Repurposed them. Yeah.
Well, Super 7 did do He-Man, didn't they? Until Mattel took the license back off them. They're weird. Vintage figures. Okay. There's the vacuum metallized. See, Super 7 a relatively small company when it comes to toys because they do very niche things, so they're not huge. How can Hasbro not do them on C-3PO? Why do we have to have brown C-3POs instead of gold?
Well, they did the retro collection vacuum metalized, didn't they?
Yeah, and they've made it only available through one retailer, so there won't be many of them sold.
Yeah.
That's interesting, actually. You see those heads at the bottom of the screen there with the visors.
Yes.
Yeah, because in the cartoon, I think what they did was they could sort of just kind of move their hand over the head, and they would sort of flip them down from the top of the head. So that's why they've got those there. It's clever. It's a good attention to detail. Fair dues.
It's something I know nothing about. I mean, I never saw the cartoon or anything like that.
No, I've only ever really seen sort of the intro and a very tiny bit of it.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube, obviously, as you'd expect, but.
It looks like they've gone for a more cartoon look on those, though. Yes, we need the crotch shots. No,
they're very well done, though.
Yeah.
It was just think Thundercats in space, basically. I think it was the animation style, you'd immediately recognize it.
And that's it for them.
Mm.
That's all of Super 7's output. Varna Studios. What on earth is Varna? This is new on me. But it looks like more turtles.
Yeah, we need more turtles.
You got Spock there. No. Get off. I want to look up the top. There. Hey, you've got a Spock there. What's he called?
Uhura, maybe?
Talosian. He's one of the Talosians.
Oh, is he? Oh, he's the big head. Yeah.
I'm guessing that's Kirk.
I'd say that could be Han or something. Isn't that Leia?
No, that's Uhura.
Oh, I thought that could have been Leia with the ringlet hair to the left. 3 to the left.
That one.
Yeah.
No, that could be the. I've forgotten the name now. It's one of the. I think it's one of the yeomen from the episode where they find Apollo, and she goes down. Huh?
Is that 7 of 9?
I don't know. I can't see well enough on the screen.
I can't see any ocular implanty bits around her eyebrow, but
yeah, it looks like
I
it.
think
Doesn't
it
it?
is.
yeah,
It is.
could
I
be.
think that one to her right is that could be Squire of Gothos.
Yeah, could be. I agree.
But yeah, it is. No, so going back in, you've got Spock. That looks like Rick Grimes, and then that does look like that. I mean, it isn't. I don't think it is, but it does look like Rick Grimes. That looks like Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
Yeah, I think that could be Leia, or it could be that character from that episode where they meet Apollo. That's Uhura. Is that Simon Pegg Scotty? That's next in between Obi-Wan and Uhura.
I can't see Simon Pegg there.
I'm getting Pike vibes off that one slightly, or something from the pilot from The Cage. I don't know why.
No, it don't look like Jeffrey Hunter.
No, I'm thinking that there was like maybe like the helmsman for that one or something. I don't know.
There we go. Right. Varna Studios was the team behind the sculpts for the Playmates toy line.
Oh.
So if they did Playmate Turtles for Playmates, they would have probably also done the Star Trek, wouldn't they?
Yes, of course. That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So this is not something that's coming out then, is it? So there's no point looking at these. That's just saved us a whole lot of time. NECA, again, is very turtle heavy. Very, very turtle heavy.
Yeah, no.
It's like, how many times can you make these for figures? We'll put them in a leather jacket and give them some shades.
Can you imagine how much space you'd need to have an example of every piece of turtle merchandise? I mean, can you
7
imagine?
inches tall as well. Oh, this one can have a flight jacket. It's Huggy Bear.
No. I mean, there's obviously a market for it. There's people out there that'll buy it, but it's just.
I mean, the accessories are quite cool.
Yep. Every turtle needs a carrot in his bag.
We're just going to cycle through the same figures. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the same, yeah.
Not many there. So, yeah, like I said, turtle heavy. Now, I know that they did a lot more because I could see them in my previous video I did, the previous live stream. High resolution Black Series photos. There we go. God, there's Christmas ones. Well,
so good.
Have they just repackaged the one from The Mandalorian?
It's possible. At least it's got a window box.
Yes, well, they're going back to window boxes, aren't they now?
Yeah.
It's a nice figure, I suppose.
That's all right. I don't like the way that they do the legs, with the billowy kind of like pantaloon things.
It's hammer time.
When they did the Typhon Boba Fett,
yes,
that looked awful. The legs on that looked awful.
So I dare say I'll be getting these in stock, but I've still got stock left of the Mandalorian one.
No, it's not a figure I'll be getting.
Okay.
Come on, enough with the Ahsoka.
I've got a. Oh. Right, okay, so that's going to be the big light up one, isn't it? That's not the accessory for the figure. Okay. Yeah, we get the idea.
What on earth? Gareth's gone. Bye-bye.
Looks like he's got cold yub nubs there.
Holiday edition. Funny.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that'd be okay if it didn't have that bloody, what do they call them? Porgs, is it?
Porg, yeah.
Yeah, no. Get rid of the
You know,
stupid
I'd be quite happy to take this if I collected Black Series loose and I wanted more Ewoks to add to my Ewoks. There's not many of them, to be fair. I think they've only done Paplu and Tebow. I don't even think they've done. Have they done Wicked?
It's almost like a cartoon coloured Ewok.
Yeah, but I'd be quite happy to have that. Paint the toes, paint the hands, and maybe put a wash over it so that it's not a brilliant white. And then you've got a different Ewok to add to your Endor.
Either that or get one of them little screw hooks and put it in its head, and you can be a tree ornament.
That as well, yeah. It won't be a bad size for that.
That could be a thing, definitely.
No, Benjamin. No, I don't.
In fairness, I mean, it's also probably the most articulated Ewok I've ever seen.
Well,
you know for a fact it's only half the size, but it'll still be the same price as a full-size 6-inch figure.
Yeah, but because it's a holiday one, it'll be heavily discounted come February.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Harrison Dula.
Yeah, this will be from Ahsoka series.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it.
What?
The figure looks better than she does in the trailer.
I think I've seen the trailer one.
But she doesn't look like the Rebels version, but I suppose she's not supposed to, but...
No, I'll be getting those in stock, I'm sure. Now, I challenge anyone who's got any Black Series figures to pose them like this and allow them to stand. No glue allowed. How many pictures do we need of the same figure? They're actually the same pictures, just with white backgrounds or black.
Well, it would allow you to substitute your own background in very easily. Oh, good grief. Salacious Crumb and a Jawa. Beautiful.
Jesus.
No, Santa, mate. Jesus is a whole different thing.
Santa Jawa.
These are just so lazy, aren't they?
Out of the ones we've seen so far, I think that's the one that I'd be most tempted by.
It's like a Grinch, isn't it?
There's a Santa Jawa.
Yeah. My word.
Houdini.
We've got to have a Stormtrooper or a Clone Trooper one, haven't we?
They've done them, haven't they? They've already done those.
Have they?
Yeah.
But Hasbro's not going to pass up an opportunity, are they, to do another one? A K2SO. See, you could paint tops of his arms, and he could be like a Hoth K2SO. Yeah, just keep going. Just there's no need to comment. Just keep going.
Don't forget, I have other show and tell items if we fire resist frivolity.
Who the hell's going to pose it like that?
It's Christmas. He's having fun.
Seriously.
Death Watch Mandalorian repaint.
You know what? Paint the chest and you've just got another Mandalorian. That's not too bad.
Well, I was going to say, it looks like Bo-Katan's crowd from Mandalorian.
Yes,
doesn't it?
It's a Death Watch. It's Death Watch Mandalorian. It's a repaint of that.
But I mean, the actual colours, I mean.
Yeah, maybe the cartoon colours. Yeah, they're it's quite a pale blue, isn't it?
But yeah, you paint over that chest armor, dirty it down a little bit, give it some weathering. You've got another Mandalorian to add to your crew. I don't mind that one quite so much. Still looks like a Smurf.
A Smurfalorian.
I hate that these things are everywhere now. Babu, freak off. All right, what's next? I'm going to chip away at more of my... Oh, wow, how many of them are there this year? Do you remember when you used to get one per year?
That looks like
one holiday figure per year. What on earth is that?
It's to make it look like a nutcracker.
Yes. Yeah. I've got a Lego set somewhere with that in mind exactly.
Nutcracker clone or whatever it is.
You can tell someone came back after a boozy lunch to do some of these poses, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like...
Well, apparently it's a purge trooper.
Yes.
Right. Yay! About bloody time.
That's a nice one.
Yes.
That's pretty.
About bloody time.
But will it scale? Have they addressed the scaling issue?
Probably not. It'll still sell like hotcakes, though.
It's the one where you can pull the head up and it shows you all like the internals, for if it's going in an X-wing or in a boost starfighter.
Oh, is it? So it is a new mold then.
If it's the one that I've seen pictures of recently, I think it is. Yeah, you pull the head up and it shows you like all the internals on it.
To be fair, it doesn't look as fat as the other versions of R2.
No,
it doesn't look as wide.
Yeah, that's nice. I quite like that. If I was in the market for one, I think you could do far worse than that, surely.
It's still not as nice as the Bandai kit R2. The Bandai kit R2, I think, is still the best. It's the one that scales the best as well with the Black Series figures.
These will be available at Cosmic Toys.
Ching! Tick.
All right, I'm sick of seeing it now. There we go.
Oh, another one from Ahsoka.
Yes, yeah. Well, they're going to be pushing that quite heavily, aren't they?
Yeah.
Is it not due to drop soon?
August. Is it 7th, is it?
It is soon,
wow,
isn't it?
this week.
I keep thinking
it's Friday, is it?
I've missed it, but it hasn't, has it?
They're dropping 2 episodes, aren't they? Is it first and second
right,
episode?
Yeah. That's right. Oh, well.
Sabine Wren.
That'll probably look... I was just going to say it'll look a lot better with the helmet on.
For those that have seen the Rebels cartoon, who's betting that the characters in the way that they characterize these characters in the TV series, they'll be more insufferable than what they... Well, in the cartoon, they're quite good characters. I bet in this TV show, they make them just insufferable.
I don't know, because it's the same guys behind it, isn't it?
It is, but it's live action. The live actors, what Disney and Lucasfilm's doing at the minute, they're just going to be insufferable. They are.
Didn't she have the Darksaber at one point?
Sabine, yeah.
She did, yes.
Briefly,
yeah.
Yeah, she gave it to Bo-Katan, but because Bo-Katan had been given it...
Yeah, that doesn't count.
The Mandalorians didn't accept it. And that's why she ended up losing it, and she went mad when Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, tried handing it to her. She's like, "No, I've been here, done that, got the T-shirt.
Yeah,
I don't want it."
Everyone and the dogs had held the Darksaber apart from Din Djarin. Apparently, for some reason, Din Djarin couldn't handle the Darksaber.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's like, right, okay.
Oh, not another one. They held that one back, didn't they? They're taking the piss.
Snow Trooper.
But the Snow Trooper is a holiday edition, isn't it? Inherently. I mean,
We'll just paint an orange blob on his face. And this we won't even bother painting at all. We'll just make it out of white plastic.
That looks like something that came straight out of Fortnite, actually.
It does actually.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like a Fortnite version.
Yeah. But Fortnite
It
would
looks
have been
even
there.
more like one now. The hell is that?
Funny.
If you want to buy those from Cosmic Toys, you will have to order them in advance. They won't be sitting on my shelves. Are we just starting again at the beginning? We are, aren't we?
We are, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all of the Black series. The one that we're most excited about is R2D2.
Santa
Yes,
Jawa.
Really?
Yeah,
You do know I'm getting you one of those for Christmas now.
I think I'd rather have the Santa Jawa than the R2.
You're getting one for Christmas now.
No.
It won't be this Christmas. It won't be this Christmas. It'll be next Christmas because by then they'll have been discounted.
Yeah.
I'm quite pleased about these.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of collectors that aren't.
I don't care about them.
No.
No, I think this is fantastic, and I love the fact that they are throwing a Mon Mothma in there that's never been done before.
Mm.
Of course, the big talk is the yak face. Everyone's going to go crazy for the yak face.
And I don't know why, because it's a horrid figure. I don't like it.
It's just a thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And is it insane of me?
Yes.
Where is it? There we go. Seeing as they're doing these boxes now, these boxes of 6. Is it insane of me to want a box of 6 different Ewoks?
What? So I have a box of 6 different Ewoks?
Yeah.
So like Wicket, Chief Chirper, and all them lot.
Is he like a closet furry or something? Is this what's coming next? He's going to be a closet furry.
No. I prefer a box of the last the ones from the last 17, and then make it up with Low Grey and Chief Chirper and whatever else. Just because they, like the yak face, they are so hard to find, and it'd be nice to get some examples of them that people can afford. Well, I think it's also a great idea to do them as a box of 6 as well. You could do that outside box, sort of like tree stumps and then green foliage around the top, and it's forest.
Yeah. Do we think that they're going to do you think they're going to work their way through the whole of the Star Wars figures?
I didn't think so, but I'm starting to think they might do now. It's a trap.
Have they done an X-Wing Luke yet?
Oh, I love that X-Wing Luke.
Did a Snowspeeder Luke.
Snowspeeder Luke, yeah. I want an X-Wing Luke.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I used to dangle that off my off the sort of the stair banisters when I was little. I don't know why, I just did.
Oh, there's more. Sorry, I thought we were recycling the same photos again then, which is why I came out of it. But no, there are more. Okay, vintage collection. That actually looks quite nice, to be fair.
And an AT-AT pilot. I hope they do an AT-AT pilot and a TIE pilot in this retro wave.
That'd be nice.
That'd
be nice. I quite like that. I think that works better than the Black Series. Although it doesn't really matter because I'd never take it out of the packaging anyway. Why?
What? Oh, God, right, okay. Life Day, oh dear.
Have you ever seen the holiday?
No, don't want to, not interested. Know of it, that's about it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I'd rather watch that than a sequel.
It's the fact that George Lucas himself disowned it.
I would. I'd happily sit through that on repeat viewing than watch the sequel trilogy.
Hang on a minute, I need to piddle somebody off.
Oh, thank you for the.
That is such a classic bot thing, isn't it?
Okay, you can't even do anything about it, can you?
But only you can see that because it's a Twitch commentator, don't forget. So it's only we're seeing it on our StreamYard feed, but no one else is seeing it on YouTube and stuff, I don't think.
Really, no one else can see that now?
No.
Only if they're on the Twitch stream, I think.
Okay.
It's annoying, but it's only annoying for us, I think, largely.
Okay. Well, we'll let them waste the time, then they can carry on.
Yeah. So I can do another show whenever you're.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll get to the end of this batch then, and we can let you show off another one of your new. Is this the one that I've seen the video of?
No.
Is that going to be making an appearance?
No.
Okay, I thought it might have done.
I can do that another time, but I've got one that's related to that, but not that one.
Just have a drink.
In his wonderful branded mug.
No.
Benjamin did put himself through the misery of watching the holiday special.
Bless him.
Yeah.
Nothing quenches your thirst, more than
a cup of Volts of Iacon.
Yeah.
A smooth taste of Iacon. Premium Energon.
And I'm really nice and warm in my my hoodie.
Subtle.
Darth Revan's finally getting some love.
He's getting some
and
3
we're
inch
going
love.
back to decent card backs.
That's another thing there doesn't seem to be a standard size for, I've decided.
Packaging.
Are they is that Star Killer? Is that 6 inch or 3 3/4?
The Star Killer that was a Comic-Con exclusive, that's 6 inch.
Right.
It's coming out as a normal one on its own, but the one with all the accessories and the 2 troopers, that was a Comic-Con exclusive.
You see, I'd be interested in that if they do him in his flight suit.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I prefer, because whenever I play Force Unleashed, I always put the flight suit skin on because I much prefer that look.
These will indeed be available at Cosmic Toys. Unless they send them to the wrong address again, like they've done that before.
Oh, God.
That's awesome.
That's painful.
So if we go by what they're trying to tell us now, that the lightsaber colour is dictated by your mood, does that mean that sort of like Darth Revan's like bipolar because he's got a red and a blue?
Could be. Do I need to say anything about this?
It's the Rebels throne, but the figure doesn't look like the Rebels throne.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That looks like my Grand Admiral throne.
Oh, from the book. That looks like the one from the cover on the book.
Yes.
Someone's put the wrong reference art for the figure makers or something.
Or maybe they just didn't want to reference the novels.
He's really available at Cosmic Toys.
Is Grand Admiral Thrawn Italian? He's like, yeah.
Looks like one of the Munsters.
It's unusual that they haven't packaged him with an Isalmiri. That's interesting. Nice to see.
Imperial Officer Troop Building.
Yeah.
Right, so they got removable hats then. Okay.
That's not Krennic, is it?
No, it's not.
I don't think so.
Just a white tuxedo, white tunic, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it's just a head swap away.
Yeah. Oh,
I like these. I just
under the collar.
I like these. I just don't like that they are Pulse exclusives.
Let's.
Ah.
Is that Pre Vizsla? Is it?
Yeah. I was going to say that.
Yes. See, that's nice.
It's not. Was that Clone Wars, or am I thinking of the wrong cartoon?
Well,
yeah. First see him in Clone Wars pre-Vizsla, and then I think does he get referenced in Rebels? But I think by then he's post Vizsla.
Rebels, yeah.
No,
he goes up against Darth Maul, doesn't he? At some point.
you didn't twig, did you, Andy?
I heard that. I was thinking of something else, and I sort of heard the word, and I went, "Oh yeah, okay."
Pre and post.
First.
No, that's quite nice, is that? I don't see why we have the same picture in several times.
It's just that people put their own background in, isn't it?
These boxes.
It's been run.
I really hate these boxes with that passion.
That is a weird box. What's that all about? And you can't see inside it either.
That's the idea is this is a deluxe figure.
She's an alien. She's going to have a strange box.
Yeah, this is a deluxe figure. And apparently this, which is the only extra piece to it.
Is it a Lothal cat, is it?
Yeah, it looks like a Loth cat, yeah. Won't fit in a bubble beside her. Ridiculous. Nice.
Oh yes, because because apparently in this new Ahsoka TV series, isn't Ahsoka training Sabine to be a Jedi, even though she has no Jedi powers at all?
Apparently so.
But it's okay because anybody can be a Jedi because they're no longer special. That's Disney for you.
Okay.
We've been through these. That's all right. Okay, that's all of the 3 3/4 inch figures then. Something else being added to the top there.
That's page 2, I think. So it's a different page. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like Marvel Legends X people.
That's weird. It seems to just rearrange the order of everything.
Maybe it just refreshed the page.
Oh, that's no good. These are quite cool, though. We haven't covered any Marvel Legends yet, have we? And Wolverine's just turned up as well to drop something random. I hadn't heard that the new version of Turtles Splinter was gay. But then again, do we ever find out his sexuality in any version?
Why do we know? Why does the character need a sexuality in a children's cartoon?
Well, I'm more interested in the fact that he's going to be getting it on with someone. There's only one of his species. He's a
I was going to say, he would have a rather limited pool to pick from, one would assume. But anyway, yeah.
When you're a giant human-sized rat, any hole's a goal. Hello, TJ. Welcome aboard.
Hello, TJ.
It's TJ Hooker.
So these, I quite like these. I do quite like these. It's obviously X-Men 97 is a new Disney Plus show, which is a continuation of the X-Men, was it 95 cartoon?
Something like that.
Because they can't make a success of anything they're doing themselves now. They're having to go on the riff of.
But you know full well it's going to be a continuation that is completely different than the original.
Yeah. I'm not bothered about that. All I'm bothered about is these figures are the same art style as that 95 cartoon. So regardless of it saying 97 there, you want a Gambit from the 95 cartoon and you want it to look like a modern Marvel Legends figure. There you go.
But that 95 cartoon did run for a while. I remember there being an arcade game of it as well.
I think it was like 4 years, wasn't it? There were 4 seasons of it. Now that's
I throw my cards at you.
Yes.
And the packaging isn't bad either.
I mean, you could soon get. I'm sure some third-party company or something would do a sticker that you could stick over it, so it covers the 97 bit up.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean that's fantastic. Is that? I like that.
That's proper old school Magneto, that fair
It
dues.
is. It is. And the bishop's different. They've streamlined him slightly. He looks a little bit. It's almost like they've tried to inject a little bit of 2023 into him.
Yeah. Benjamin's made a good point there. It'll be Masters of the Universe Revelation all over again. That's what they'll do with it.
Probably. What have I said? What have I said, TJ? Apparently it's Mikey.
Oh, one of the turtles is...
So Splinter... Hang on a minute. You're telling me that Splinter is going to be in a homosexual relationship with his adopted son?
No, I think what he meant is that Michelangelo is going to be, gay. I mean, why? Who knows? Why?
Splinter? Well, he says Sprinter, but I assume he meant Splinter.
Or maybe he was saying it with an accent.
Let's not talk about that. You brought it up.
Unless he means the Masters of the Universe.
Let's move on. I mean, it's still not a bad figure. I think it's just it's the hair and the face, because the bishop had like the big mullet, didn't he? If I remember rightly.
He's obviously had a haircut since '95.
Yes. When he was a time traveler. Was he a time traveler bishop?
Yes. Yeah, he was. And the rogue's great.
That's classic rogue.
Yeah. That's brilliant, is that? That's
do you know what's funny? Do you know what's funny? My son was literally just watching. He was chaining the original X-Men films. So of course she was, that version of her was in those quite prominently, of course. I've seen those.
And some of the collectors are going to do that post. Copy that pose from the meme, the rogue meme. You know which one I mean? Where she's laid on the ground with her ass up in air.
Oh right, well they do that anyway with all of the figures.
Yeah,
I like this hand that it comes with. I think that's great. Is that she's pulled the glove off the other hand and she's holding it? I think that's a nice hand.
Okay, yeah.
So she can get a touch on.
Yes. But then they've gone and ruined it with Storm, because we can't have mullet type hair now. We have to have that.
Alphabet people hairstyle.
Yeah. In fact, I'm surprised she hasn't got one side pink and the other side blue.
Wasn't there a version of Storm that once had sort of half a head shaved?
Yeah, I think it was from one of the recent X-Men films.
We have to be careful what we say now, because there is a lady present.
Is there where?
TJ. Right. Wolverine was meaning, let's not talk about Revelation.
Yeah.
And that Bishop looks like 50 Cent. That Wolverine's cool as well. I know that they've got these right, because I can hear, while looking at them, I can hear the voices inside my head.
Yeah.
From the cartoon.
It's two Batmen staring at each other.
It's two Batmen kissing each other. Even that head. That's fantastic.
It's a nice looking figure, but I don't know why people go. I've never liked the mask, Wolverine's mask.
I get it.
It's a bit over exaggerated.
It is. That's a good lineup of figures, is that? These are the smaller ones. They're not the legends. They're the smaller ones.
No, because and Storm's got a different haircut there, hasn't she? She's got a mohawk.
It's the same as that Legends we've just looked at, though.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Right now, the top row there are the Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
And then that bottom row is that box set that they've just shown.
Okay.
So I dare say that box set is probably going to be about the same price as 1.5 of the Legends. No, I like those. I'm impressed with those. And providing that they don't screw up distribution, they will be available at Cosmic Toys. There you are. I was almost bang on. Oh no, two, almost twice the size, almost the price of two of them. The box set. Did it say what size they are? 4-inch scale. So yeah, smaller. Okay, interesting. Hasbro Archive.
What's your other show and tell then, Andy?
Yeah, sorry, go on, Andy.
Well, this one I was not looking for, but I was really happy that I found it, and I was quite. I literally was. I said, right, I'm going to sleep on this literally, and if it's still there the next day, I'm going to pull the trigger because I think it would be rude not to. Ed will recognise this. I'm sure you will as well, Gareth. But I think there's a little bit of. Yeah, I don't know if this will stay up. That's okay. That wasn't it breaking. It is a little bit. It's a bit loose. Check this out.
Right, Fokker.
But this is the Takatoku Valkyrie, and this is the Jetfire one.
That's the Jetfire, yes.
The Jetfire mold. It brings back so many memories for me of Jetfire, who I no longer possess. But interestingly, as soon as I got it, I thought, what's going on here? Because the wings go further forward than Jetfires do, but apparently that is a thing. So for the Jetfire mold, they tweaked it so you can't push the wings as far forward.
Yeah,
for whatever
there
reason.
were two little notches on top of the wing that stopped them going right further forward.
But it's it's a slightly different sort of coloration and everything else. But the actual, I mean,
the nose section is slightly different shape as well.
Apparently so, yeah. And so I mean, I just literally got this off eBay. And the irony was, I got into a mad bidding war for this in a sort of online video-based auction. Didn't get it because there was a box involved with that one, so it was it just went silly and I lost out to it. But I just really love. And what's fascinating for me is when I was little, I saw this Robotech series advertised. I think it was for a game of it or something in American comics, and of course there was no chance of finding it in a normal toy store in the 80s when I saw the comic. So it's rather nice that I've now got a proper Robotech Valkyrie, and it's a Jetfire one as well. So it's it's just really, really nice to have one, but it is absolutely bob on. So I know how to transform it because I had Jetfire. But it's really clean. It's a little bit loose in places, but it is really clean. So it was a complete punt because I didn't know, I hadn't bought from that seller before. But check out what else he put in the bag, and this really, really made me smile almost more than the actual thing itself. So I was puzzled when this dropped out of the packaging.
Robot points, yeah.
So it gave you robot points, and you can cash them in. Right. So with your robot points, you can actually get what appear to be authentic sort of G1 mini bots by sending him back his robot points that he gives you in the first place. So I thought, fair dues to you. That's a clever little gimmick for that. I thought that was lovely. So yeah, I was well pleased with that one, and I wouldn't have said it was like a grail for me particularly, but that was probably cheaper than trying to find a minty robot Jetfire again. Because obviously trying to get a white one, you'd be lucky. Then I thought when I got it, I'd forgotten, of course, those aren't white. It's just that sort of military grey colour. But even so, it's still really evocative for me. Because Jetfire, I saved up all my pennies for, and I bought it from Hamleys in London. And I literally went, oosh, there's a massive pile of my dosh that had been saved very carefully to get he's off to get his now. Here we go.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
What's really, really striking me, though, is I don't know if he's gone to get his Jetfire now, but I've held that Jetfire. I've held other Jetfires. And it's never done anything for me, but you've just held that up then. And straight away, memories come back to me of having that toy as a kid.
What? Actually, this one?
That one with the skull crossbones, the yellow part. I had that as a child.
I think there were probably a lot of model kits of it as well.
That had completely gone from my mind until you just held that up.
Isn't it funny? But it is very distinctive. I mean, I've seen it in the cartoons. I've seen the cartoons. Yes, all right. There's always one.
Yeah, but mine's yellow. Mine's yellow.
Yeah, but it's got a
Mine's
lovely
yellow
white
too.
racing stripe.
Yeah.
Mine's a very special limited edition yellow.
They were buggers for that, though, weren't they? Because what I did with mine was actually I had him for quite a long time. I must have had him until the 2000s, and then I needed some cash. But I twigged it. If I sold him as he was, I could sell the individual armor pieces, which I still had, for almost for more than him. So the armor pieces separately went for more than his actual body went, which was incredible for me at the time, you know. Yeah, well, that's Skyfire. I mean, that's, you know, but that's a lovely thing as well, though, in terms of what it's reproducing. Fair dues.
Yeah. So this is the fans' toys. Skyfire.
That's a big beast, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah,
Huge.
that's
Huge
awesome.
thing he is. But it's a lovely figure. That's a lovely figure. He's my permanent resident despot. That one is because that's a pre-production sample that I got sent to review.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I've got me production boxed one on a shelf over there somewhere.
I will just satisfy Gareth's curiosity because he was expecting me to. That's why, TJ. This was the other one I was going to show you, which again Ed will appreciate. This is from my rabbit hole of grandstand converters. Check him out. I would never in a million years have thought I would ever have anything vaguely resembling Omega Supreme. What's even more hilarious is this is Omegatron.
Yeah,
you chop the O off, you get Megatron.
Yes.
And it's like somebody's going to sue somebody, but apparently nobody did. But I really love it. I mean, it seems to be pretty much bob on to Omega Supreme, and this was licensed.
Yeah,
this is not a knockoff.
It's exactly the same. It's just the colours that are different. Have you got the leg? Have you got the leg clips?
This is as much as I have. I got him cheap because I was only really getting him for the sake of videoage, so I wasn't. Although, I mean, actually, he displays really well. You know, he looks like what he's supposed to look like, and he's got feet. But I know that there are armor pieces front and back and red clips to hold them on, which I'm lacking. So I knew that going into it, and you get loads more track, of course, for the for the tank part. But you can make the rocket out of what I've got and all the rest of it. Yeah. So
does the electronics work? Have you tried the electronics?
I think his light did work briefly. I can't remember where the button for it is, but basically this was the guy's spares and repairs kind of version. I think he had a much better version.
Just pull his chest up. Pull his chest section up. That's it.
Yeah. So it does go. I'm not sure if it sticks.
Bit of blue.
Yeah, something like that. So I mean, I don't know. It probably needs batteries, but the switch is there. So yeah, I mean, it may well work. I can't remember if the auction said it did or not, but as I say, I was getting it more for display than anything else.
Yeah, so, it's nice. It is a nice version of it. It's if you were a collector, I mean, obviously you couldn't really get a Mega Supreme over here. You know, it wasn't.
But this is why.
Yeah,
he was properly licensed. So this took the UK license for this model, and it was made by a firm that took it from Tomy originally, apparently. So it was like a firm called, I think it was called Toy Box, had Tomy design it for them. They seem to vanish off the face of the planet. But then these guys were then the guys who licensed it to Grandstand. Yeah,
Grandstand,
as a converter for in the UK. And that's why we never got it in the UK at that point in time. So there you go.
I mean,
I never would have guessed that was a thing at all, ever. You know,
it's packed away. But I've got an Omega Supreme, but it's the Wei Zhang third party one, and it's about 2.5 foot tall. Maybe I'll get that out for the next show and tell.
Huge. I'm impressive.
Yeah,
that's 2.5 foot rocket out for the next show and tell.
Yep. I couldn't even get my Unicron out, but no, yeah. I mean, it'd be good because if you had the Omega Supreme and a couple of those, see, they could be the Guardian robots.
Yeah,
you know.
But what's fascinating, I mean, the reason I haven't done a video on him yet is because I'm waiting to get an old Transformers comic, because his representation in the comic is completely different to the random interpretation of him in the cartoon, where he could barely string a sentence together, and he had this habit of blowing up on a regular basis. In the comic, he absolutely kicked bottom, and he very nearly killed Megatron very early in the comics run. So it's kind of really different interpretations of the character.
They did the same thing with Jetfire in the cartoon versus comic. Yeah, in the cartoon, he was useless. Well, to be fair, he only appeared in, what is it, three episodes in the first series, and then that was it. You never saw him again, and that was down to licensing issues. So, in fact, he probably appeared more in the comic than he did in the cartoon.
I remember him turning up in the Dreamwave comic, and wasn't it clever? I think wasn't he wearing some sort of armor where basically he shifted from Jetfire looking to Skyfire looking by shedding armor, which I thought that's well played.
Yeah, it was like a helmet thing that he put on. So he had a fight with Sunstorm, which was I think it was a nucleon infused clone of Starscream.
Yeah.
And that was a good storyline. It was a good storyline, that was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like Skyfire, Jetfire. It's always been a character I liked. I had Skyfire myself as a kid back in the day, but before I got him, my placeholder for Skyfire was the Super GoBot Spacey, which was the shuttle. Which
I've got that downstairs, would you believe? Bizarrely.
Yeah. The head isn't too dissimilar to the Jetfire toy, with the red visor and that.
I need to fish that out.
Yeah.
I thought I was getting a small GoBot space shuttle, and I got this big thing instead. And I was like, that's weird.
Yeah. But the thing was, when I got those, they call them Super GoBots, but when I got them, it was pre-GoBot. They were like released as Robo machines.
Yes,
they came with the Robo machine packaging. So it was just before they changed the branding. What?
You're on about
your GoBot thing, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Which is a perfect opportunity to segue into something I was going to show you guys. It's while I've been sorting out upstairs at the shop, I came across these today, which I'm assuming are GoBots.
Yes, yeah, it's a GoBot.
Yeah. But this one has a really, really difficult transformation thing. Like, oh, there we go.
Doubling two for you. Tank, I think Tankor, is it the calling? Tank?
There was one called Tankor, wasn't there?
No idea.
Yeah.
I literally brought it home thinking it can go inside one of the arms and legs of that guy. And I don't know if this one will fit because it's a bit longer. It's obviously an helicopter, but he's missing the blades.
I know that one. I think I had that one.
Warpath. Is that right?
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought, without, I can't imagine anyone's going to want him. So I don't think it's got any value whatsoever without the blades. But I thought it could easily go in one of those.
Yeah, I had both of them as a kid. Both of them.
Yeah, I definitely had that one. I think it was. I didn't have loads of them, but I think I had that one.
Well, that was the thing. As a kid, at one point, I actually had more GoBots than Transformers, just purely for the reason that they were more pocket money friendly than what Transformers were.
I ironically, in my collection at the moment, I've probably got more GoBots, like bizarrely, than I have old G1s.
And then I also came across a figure that I customized. Goodness knows how long ago. My love for Grand Admiral Thrawn and those books. Well, there was another character in them, Mara Jade. So I made a Mara Jade figure.
Oh, wow.
Using the body of a Zam Wessel.
Right.
And the head of a Padme.
Oh, very good.
Cool.
So yeah, all in black and purple with the ginger hair.
Yeah.
You have to have the ginger hair. And I don't know if you can see it, but I took the time to do the eyebrows as well.
Bless you. This is clearly where the Warhammer practice comes in handy.
No, this was long before I'd ever seen a Space Marine.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And another couple of things that I found, which are going to go in the Mighty Max. Have I moved the Mighty Max over there? Into the Mighty Max shelf there. It's this guy. I don't have that one. No, I don't have that one. So, yeah. Now, I don't know if it's complete, this one. But it does have a max. I don't know if it's the correct max, but it's got a max.
Let me just put Jetfire back.
And there doesn't seem to be anyone for him to fight. So I'm guessing that there's something missing from that one. So I might have to start looking for pieces now. And another one, which is this charming looking thing. The monster from this one comes out at the top of the head.
Ah, wow. I can see why you like them. Yeah.
And there's no max, unfortunately. So, again, another one that I need to try and complete or look for a complete. But I got a delivery today because I was scrolling eBay the other day.
Always dangerous.
Searching for Mighty Max, just because they all seem to be really expensive at the moment. So I'm just seeing if anything pops up on the bids on a bargain. And the seller who's got a lot of Mighty Max, and he seems to be quite expensive with it. Not expensive, but he everything he's got for sale is at the top end of the value of what they tend to go for. So I'm not saying he's overpriced, but he's certainly not underpriced.
But he sold it to you, so he's not overpriced, is he? So...
and these ones, he's got them loose at between £10 and £25 each. Yeah?
That will add up quickly if they need multiples.
Each of these has got two of them in it.
What's them? What are them?
These are Mighty Max.
Ah, right, yeah.
And each
Polly
of
Pockets
these
for boys.
Polly Pockets for boys, yeah. Each of them's got two in it, and it was £48 for the pair, sealed.
Right.
And bearing in mind, he's asking between 10 and 25 quid each for them loose, and these are still sealed. I was like, I think I'd be stupid not to get them. So that one, you've got a rat head, and then a vampire head. So a rat and a Dracula. And then that one, you've got like an insect one and some kind of rock monster zombie thing. I can't tell you exactly which, because I think one of the reasons he priced them a little bit lower than he normally would is because it's all Chinese writing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually tell you the names of them in English. So I'm going to have to look them ones up, see what they actually are. But I could take them off the blister, and I've got some perfectly mint loose ones. But I was quite fancying just a couple of carded ones. So I stick at the back in the cabinet.
I've just done that with some stuff. Yeah.
So I'm thinking a couple of those little sucky hooks stuck onto the back of the cabinet there.
Ah, idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they're small enough cards, I guess you could do that. Yeah.
Just about there. One either side. I think it'll look quite nice. So,
good with that.
Wolverine's got a few questions in the chat.
Yes, I know. I was going to finish talking about those and then move on, because he's wanting to know what we think of the Marvel movies now.
Awful.
I've not watched any since. It was either Spider-Man or Doctor Strange was the last one that I watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think same for me. Spider-Man. Is it No Way Home?
No Way Home.
I tried. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, I tell a lie. I did watch Love and Thunder. That was awful. I endured it. It was awful.
Random. That was very random.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was all right, actually.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to, because I think I've always quite liked the Guardians ones. So I'm hoping that 3 won't be.
The only thing is that the only thing I found with it was, apart from Mantis. Apart from Mantis, they all look like they've banged loads of weight on. I mean, No, seriously. I mean, and the costumes don't do anything for them either. I mean, Drax doesn't look muscular anymore. He just looks overweight. Nebula, they've made Nebula look like a bloke. You know, she's lost all the shapely figure and everything. You know,
Yeah, that's weird.
but the storyline,
Yeah.
the storyline's not
Like
bad.
that.
Yeah, see you later, Gap. And then I started watching Ant-Man Quantumania. I got about 20 minutes. I got 20 minutes into it, shouted at the TV and turned it off.
I have seen that. We watched that Saturday night, I think it was.
Right.
Well, you were, weren't you? Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't do a great deal for me.
No.
It's a weird one. I kind of agree with everyone who posted a comment when I said that I was watching that. They all said it wasn't as bad as they thought it was, or it wasn't a bad film. And yeah, they're right, but there's nothing positive to say about it. It wasn't good.
Well, the thing for me is that they replaced the actress that played Cassie from Endgame. And the new actress that they've got playing Cassie in this new Ant-Man film is just instantly dislikable. And then there's a scene at the beginning of the film where she's lecturing her dad whilst they've just bailed her out from jail. And then, like, you know, so she's mouthing off at her dad. And then it's like, then she's made her own Ant-Man suit. And it's like, oh, and I just shouted at the TV and turned it off. Oh, fuck off. And just,
yeah, she's absolutely perfect in every way.
Yeah.
They should have called her Mary Poppins.
Yeah. Well, I went to, I remember when I went to the cinema with my son and we watched the Black Panther sequel.
Okay.
And after that, he sort of said to me, he said, Dad, he said, I think I've sort of gone off the Marvel films now. I said, why is that? He says, well, it's not the right people anymore. And I know what he means, because it's like they kind of tried to move on to the next generation, but they just don't have the same sort of gravitas. You know, they did the arc. Yes. And now we're in this other phase.
But the thing is that they're not gonna this new villain, this Kang that they're trying to set up. It's useless. It's not going to be the same level as Thanos. The only way really you can go up from Thanos would be Galactus, if in my opinion.
Yeah.
Or even Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom or Galactus. I mean, this Kang. I mean, I don't know much about it because I've not read the comics, but the bits I've seen from Loki and stuff like that, it's just like, well, it's just like generic. It's like, it's what threat are you? It's like. Doesn't really have any, but then they've kind of shot themselves in foot because the actor that plays Kang is in a bit of a hot water, isn't he, at the moment? So, but then Wolverine also asked about Rise of the Beasts. Yes, I've seen Rise of the Beasts.
I haven't yet.
I haven't.
Looks interesting, but no.
No, it's
no.
It's
more of the same.
Yeah, pretty much more of the same. More of the same. I just don't understand. They're just messing. If you've seen the Bumblebee film, and it's like they've changed the characterization of Optimus again, and it's like there's a few bits here and there. And I was just like, it was just a bit mundane. In fact, to be honest with you, about an hour after watching it, I was struggling to remember what really happened because it wasn't really that memorable. And it's so no, I didn't think much to it, to be fair. It was like diet Michael Bay. I mean, I've only read this recently, but it makes sense actually, because apparently Michael Bay's still got quite a lot of control over it, according to some news reports that's been coming out, some articles. Really? And you can tell that there is still quite a bit of Bay DNA to it, and the human characters are boring. It's just like the kind of this might get me a hot water, but I don't care. But the diversity hires, they've not been hired because of the characterization. It's just they just feel like diversity hires. You know, they're quite boring and mundane. You know, there's no real. You don't feel any attachment to them or anything like that. It's just like they just rock up and they're just there, and it's just like, oh, right, okay, fair enough. And then you've got Mirage, who's a Porsche, and it's like, well, if you're gonna have someone as a Porsche, it's Jazz. Jazz is a Porsche, you know. I mean, yeah, I get you can't have Mirage rocking around the streets of New York as a Formula One car. I get that, but you know, it's.
But don't make him look like another G1 Transformer used to look like, because that's just silly. I mean, you know.
But then again, I mean, yeah, there is precedent though for two characters having the same car mode. I mean, you've got Prowl and Blue Streak. Oh, sorry, 3 and Smokescreen. You've got Trailbreaker and Hoist. You've got Inferno and Grapple. You know, so there is
Sideswipe, Sunstreaker,
Ironhide and
well,
Ratchet.
no, yeah, technically no. They're both Lamborghini Countashes, but Sunstreaker is a fictitious version of a LP 500 as a supercharged, so it's slightly different. It's not exactly.
They are brothers, aren't they, as well?
Yeah, the Spark brothers. Yeah. But whether or not that's canon in other continuities or what, I don't know. But
and then you've also got Optimus Prime and Minimus Albus.
No, you mean Ultra Magnus and Minimus Albus?
No, Optimus Prime and Minimus Albus, because Ultra Magnus is the armor that Minimus Albus wears.
What, Minimus Ambus? Not Albus. It's not bloody Dumbledore.
I went far off.
Transform and expecto Patronus. Yeah, Minimus Ambus. Well, no, in the IDW verse, that version of Ultra Magnus doesn't have the white Prime in a robot. It just has this Minimus Ambus.
Yeah, the whole thing was armor, wasn't it, for him?
Yeah, well, the original Ultra Magnus was killed, but because he was such an ideal to aspire to, they resurrected him and had him as these. Oh, what do they call them now? Something like heavy loaders or something like that. The types of transformers that are capable of operating bigger outer shells, if you will. Which it's an interesting story, but I think you could have done it with a different character. Don't screw about with Magnus, you know. Just leave Ultra Magnus to be Ultra Magnus. But I mean, there was some interesting stories before they went, you know, they drunk the Kool-Aid. But you know, I'm digressing. But yeah, Rise of the Beast. Yeah, if you want to watch it, but don't expect too much.
I'll see it at some point, but I'm in no rush.
I won't go to cinemas. Just head to the high seas to watch it.
That's how I seem to feel at the moment about all the films that are coming out. I'll see it at some point, but I'm in no rush.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely. I mean, no, I mean, I wouldn't waste my money at cinemas now.
I'm going to work his way through a few more of the comments to catch up. Gap's mentioning something about red eyes, and I'm not quite sure what he's referring to.
I must have been when I mentioned Jetfire, the Jetfire toy.
Possibly.
Space
and Cool, which he was referring to the Mighty Max things that I was showing at the time, which TJ thinks are Polly Pockets, so she's not wrong. Logan also wants to know what we think of the crossover between Transformers and G.I. Joe movie franchise.
A movie franchise?
This is something I thought they were going to do 10 years ago, and I think it's...
This refers to a mid-credits scene in Rise of Beast where they're like the main human character is like an ex-army or Marine or whatever, but there's no point in the film that you get the impression that this guy used to be in the Marines, because he's not kind of as sort of like, he's not focused or kind of like determined, you know, as what you'd expect, you know, not as disciplined as what you'd expect someone who's been in the Marines to be, kind of thing. But like, you know, just because he's been on an adventure with Transformers, it's like, oh, right, come on, we want you to be a G.I. Joe now. And it's like, he hands him a business card that actually says G.I. Joe on it. And it's like, what, really?
Yeah.
You know, because that's what you do. You know, a secret, I mean, it's, you know, secret organization. Here's my card. You know, it's almost as, you know, it's as bad as James Bond, the worst spy ever. He's like, what's your name, James Bond? Oh yeah, you're that spy, aren't you?
It's only like having a BAT card to go spending on.
Yes.
Your
Yeah,
BAT credit card.
Yeah. Don't leave home without it.
But the comics did quite a lot of crossover with G.I. Joe and Transformers, didn't they? At one point,
yes.
Yeah, well, the original ones, you had the original Marvel UK, you had Action Force, but it wasn't the Action Force characters; it was the G.I. Joe characters. But while it was still under the Action Force branding,
I will just point out, I have that for sale at the shop.
What?
The IDW, well, it's IDW that have published the hardcover of all of the Transformers and G.I. Joe crossovers.
Right.
Available at your local Cosmic Toy Shop.
But yeah, I think the thing with the G.I. Joe crossover is, I personally feel that a better crossover would be a Transformers and Mask, because you could a part of the storyline could be that Mask have got their technology through stolen Cybertronian technology, hence the reason why the vehicles transform into like
something.
Pardon?
Can I pitch something to you here? Could it be that for the movies, you have the crossover between Transformers and G.I. Joe, and then following on from that, you get Mask, which is G.I. Joe trying to use Cybertronian technology?
It's possible.
That could be where Mask comes into it in the movie form. Is that you've got G.I. Joe, the military G.I. Joe, trying to do the Transformer thing with their vehicles.
The thing is, though, I mean, it's like it's the problem with doing things like this is you're having different factions fighting against each other in the same universe. So you've got Autobots versus Decepticons, you've got G.I. Joe versus Cobra. Then you're going to have Mask versus Venom. It's like, they're just going to trip up over each other. It's like, choose your battle kind of thing. Who's the main antagonist and protagonist for your in-universe kind of thing, So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. It's a cash grab. They're wanting to make money, they're wanting to sell toys, they're wanting, and things like that. I think that I'm struggling to think of a crossover film that's actually done well.
Freddy versus Jason.
Well, it didn't really do well, did it? It may be loved by the fans, but like box office wise, or it's been a good story. But crossover films don't really tend to have a history of doing very well, do they?
No.
I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, it's going to come, but it's just when with your strikes, right?
I know as a kid, and this is going to sound really weird. I enjoyed the Care Bears Adventure in Wonderland. That's a crossover.
God. We're going to have a massive mashup. Yeah, we get like My Little Pony Care Bears.
Why were you going to see the Care Bears?
I didn't go to see it. My mum bought me on VHS. I have no idea why.
She probably thought they were bears, right?
She probably wanted to watch it herself.
Right.
But what's really weird is it was more of a crossover with the original tale. So there's the Jabberwocky in it and everything like that. And I'm sat there watching like, I've never seen anything to do with Care Bears before. And the only Alice in Wonderland I know is the Disney one. And I'm watching this. It's like, I don't know anything about what's going on in this film.
Yeah. I can remember being at school when Care Bears movie came out. It'd have probably been round about maybe a similar time to Transformers, the movie came out, maybe about 86, maybe 87. And, there are a couple of, sort of like saying about, going to cinemas, do you want to come kind of thing? I'm like, no, I don't Care Bears. I'm a bloke, I'm a boy. I'm going to see that. You're trying to get me to watch Bloody Little Pony next? Nope, none of that. Not having that.
And then it looks like Logan has opened up a can of worms in the comments.
Ezra Miller. Now, you see, that's interesting because I watched that the other day. I watched the Flash.
Oh, did you? Any
Yeah.
good? I like some of the clips of it I've seen.
Yeah,
but I don't think
right.
it actually works as a movie.
I personally feel it's better than it's got any right to be. It's
okay, interesting.
It's not good, but it's not bad either. It's just, you know, again, it's a story that could have been so much better. So much better. It feels like a movie that's been interfered with and messed about with a lot by different people. But as regards Ezra Miller, I'd have to say he's actually not bad in the film. He's quite good in the film as the character. Yeah. Do I think he should have been in that? No, hell no. He should have been kicked off and they should have recast it after what he got up to.
But it was filmed before he'd done anything.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, the amount of messing about that you can tell that the film has had, they could have reshot his scenes with a different actor. You know, because I mean, is it 2 years ago this film was finished? They finished filming this. Sorry, Andy, what are you going to say?
Yeah, so I can't say that I've particularly read Flash comics as such, but he's often portrayed as a very, very sort of goofy kind of individual. At least he was in the DC universe version of him, in the film universe. So is that comics accurate? Is he normally that much of a goof? Because in the animated version of him that I've seen, he's much darker than that. And he seems, far more serious. Whereas he's very light in the, in sort of Batman v Superman and stuff like that. It was a very sort of different sort of interpretation of him. It seems. Yeah. I don't know.
I would say in this Flash film, you see, you get two versions of him. You get the main version that we know from Batman versus Superman and then you get the other version that is the version of him before he became Flash. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And he does play both parts quite well. And there is some interesting interaction. I mean, like I say, the way the character and the acting in the film, the way he acts, I don't have an issue with. I get it, and I can. That's okay. But it's like, I don't know anything about the Flash as a character outside of those films. But within the context of the film, I didn't think it was that bad. But like I say, I think with what he's done and he's got up to in his personal life, I think, it's like, I can understand why they've not let him go out and do any press for the, promotion for the film. As for Keaton does steal the limelight in the scenes that he's in, but he's not in it that much.
Oh, right, okay.
And there's some scenes from the trailer that aren't in the film.
I hate it when they do that.
Yeah. So whether or not they turn up on an extended edition or whatever, I don't know. But Wolverine's mentioned. Yeah, at the end of the film, it's George Clooney's Batman that turns up. Now you get to see different versions of Batman and Superman. I mean, they do a poor CGI version of Christopher Reeve and Helen Slater. Their versions of Superman and Supergirl, which is like sacrilege. You don't mess about with Christopher Reeve's Superman. Christopher Reeve is Superman. I didn't mind Henry Cavill as Superman, but Christopher Reeve is Superman. Leave alone. So
I don't think they've done anything to actually change him, have they?
You what? Sorry,
they haven't done anything to change him.
No, but there was no need to have him in there. It was a shit CGI version of him. It looked similar to him, but it's just like there was no soul to it. You don't if you're gonna have Christopher Reeve Superman in a film, do it right. Don't just. I mean, even they had Nicolas Cage as Superman in there, which was an interesting cut scene, and it would have been great had the CGI been a lot better. The CGI is awful in it. It's like PlayStation 2 level CGI. It's it's not good. It's not good.
Not
Wonder
all
Woman.
There's quite a lot missing, actually.
Yeah, there is. Val Kilmer's Batman isn't in it. He's not in it.
Neither's Christian Bale.
No, Christian Bale. Kevin Conroy's Batman isn't in it either. So there is quite a few. The Batman from the Moleman, he's not in it. But yeah, it's. I don't know. I don't think it's a film I'll rush to watch again in any time soon. It's not. It's not something that I think I'll watch that again. But yeah, Keaton's Batman. It's that thing again where he must be what the character's got to be probably in his 70s, and he's flying around and kicking and punching and like he's still in his 30s. You're
not being reprimanded, don't worry.
You what? Sorry.
She said, "Okay," slopes off to the corner.
Why? What for?
Well, she said all of the Batmen were in it.
All right, yeah. Sorry, TJ. Sorry, TJ, but no, they're not. Unfortunately, it's. It would have been nice to see Kilmer's Batman.
Yes, it would.
But because I think
it'd be nice to see Christian Bale's.
Yeah, but Nolan has specifically said his version of Batman isn't connected to anything else. There's no other superheroes in his universe. So Batman is just Batman, and that's it. So it's which is fair enough. It's. I'm just thinking, the new Joker film, that's probably going to be a dumpster fire. Making it a bloody musical. And then, and Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. It's just like, oh God, give it a rest with Harley Quinn.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's a bit harsh, is that, Benjamin? Then you're getting your full Sunday name there, Benjamin.
He is Batman.
Yeah. What they did with him in Maverick, Top Gun Maverick, that was good. That was really good, was that?
I haven't seen it.
Have you seen the original Top Gun?
15 years ago.
Right. If you enjoyed it, you'll enjoy the Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
It's all right.
And if you didn't, well.
It's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's one of those things everyone says it's the best thing ever, and then you watch it and it's like,
yeah, but
it's all right.
Your movie taste is questionable anyway, Gareth.
I blame it on people that bull things up to be something.
No,
you just contrary. And then when you watch it, it's like you set my expectations so high for this film.
Well, that's your fault, not theirs. Don't believe the hype.
I don't now. You've taught me that lesson.
Yeah. Never trust anyone who don't like RoboCop.
I never said I didn't like it.
You did. You said you didn't like it. You thought it was rubbish.
I never said it was rubbish at all.
Same story about RoboCop.
He's a robot, and he's a cop.
No, he's a cyborg.
He's not a robot. He's a cyborg.
Yeah.
Is he? Though? Is he?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
He's
got mushy bits. He's a cyborg.
Is he? Yeah, you sure?
Yes.
It should be cyborg cop then, not RoboCop.
Well, yeah. But
go on. Tell us your true story.
Yeah, my true story was that was the first time that that I walked into a rental store, got it off the shelf, strode up to the front desk, was queried about my age and fibbed successfully to be able to rent the video because I was about 3 years too young to watch it. And by God, I picked a peach of a one to pick as well because it was bloody gruesome, pretty early doors. Because that first scene, the translation was pretty nasty, as I remember it at that age at that time. That was probably by far and away the most violent thing I'd ever seen on my telly. Unfortunately, my parents didn't choose that moment to walk in when I was watching that because they probably would have had a word to say about that.
Well, where I grew up, there were a corner shop where I grew up called Pima's, and they used to do, they were like your typical corner shop and that, but then they all had a video section as well.
On a little spinny rack or something.
No, it was by the window, and it was just like this sort of like an A-frame rack, and all the videos were just lined up.
Take care, Benjamin. I'll catch you later.
Yep, see you later, Benjamin. And I had a standing order with RoboCop when it first came out, and I just used to go. The guy, I can't remember the guy's name. I'll have to ask my mate John, because he grew up around there. He remembers his name. But he looked like Mike Reed, but the Mike Reed from Saturday Superstore, with the glasses and the black mullet. And I used to like book it out, and I can remember going up one particular week, and he said, I mean, obviously back then I was known as my Sunday name, which I won't repeat here. But he said, look, he says, I can't let you have it this week. He says, you're going to have to let someone else rent it out. He says, because you're having it out every week. It was that and Terminator. I just used to alternate them two all the time. But again, I think I'd have been, 14, I think? 14 when that came out on video. But like I said, I mean, he knew I wasn't old enough. I mean, that was back in days where you could go up to the shop and buy a single cigarette and a match.
Now, there's a crossover that's been done as well. I think Terminator v RoboCop.
Yeah.
That's been a thing, hasn't it, in comics and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah. And we know RoboCop would win.
You mentioned the beginning scene, and I have to be honest with you, it was from that scene I was like, oh, bullets are obviously really cheap. They're free. It's like, I think he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you got him. No, he ain't coming back from that. I think you can stop now.
Yeah, it's just bang, 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 bang.
Wolverine also wants to know what we thought of Wonder Woman 84. What a load of rubbish. But
yeah,
I watched past the first 20 minutes. I just thought I'd have no interest anymore. It's just
TJ liked it. So.
It was awful. I mean, God bless you. God bless you. If you like it, that's great, and I'm happy for you. But no, it was awful. It's like, I mean, she rapes that poor guy.
Yeah, that is my takeaway from that film.
It's like, he didn't consent to that. And it's like,
I cannot think of that film. And that character now, the character of Wonder Woman from the films, I can't think of them at all without.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're going to get raped by a bird, I can't think of a better one. Right? I mean, I wouldn't complain. No, stop.
His body is being possessed by someone, and we know nothing about that particular person. He might be gay. He's being forced to shove himself inside some gorgeous woman.
I'm sorry. Have you just assumed his pronouns?
No, that's not his well, I've assumed his pronouns and possibly his sexuality.
No, but you said he could be gay.
Yes, it could be a she, couldn't it?
Mm. But no, it's. I mean, it just. I don't know. It kind of. Yeah, I think Kirsten Wiig was the wrong casting choice in that as well.
Yes, she was.
I
think the story was the wrong choice.
Mm.
It's almost like they were coming after Trump. Successful businessman. Let's bring him down.
Mm. The only thing I liked was. Oh, actually, was that in the first one?
No, I know what you're going to say. Linda Carter.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. She's my Wonder Woman, is Linda.
I agree. It was nice to see her at the end. And again, it does leave you wanting to see where they're going to go with that.
Yeah.
Now we're never going to.
No. Well, no, but the thing is, though, because James Gunn is like picking and choosing what he wants. It's like he's going in and allegedly rebooting it all and resetting it. But he seems to be keeping the stuff that his wife and his family's involved in. So he's keeping Peacemaker. His wife is in that. He's keeping Suicide Squad. Which he made. Which he made. He's keeping... Well, I think there's still a question mark over Wonder Woman at the moment. And I think Aquaman as well. So it's like, Yeah,
it's a strange one because apparently he's going to be playing both Aquaman and Lobo moving forward.
All right, okay.
Which, to be fair, I think he's far better cast. He's far better cast as Lobo than he is as Aquaman. But who am I to say that when Aquaman is the only DC movie to have made that kind of money? That
But
is
again,
mental. That is mental.
They need to get rid of that Amber Heard out of Aquaman as well.
Yeah.
Well,
But
she won't come back now, will she? I don't know. I don't know what her status is.
Well, I think
we live in a world where Aquaman makes more money than Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and all of the other DC characters. That is insane. Absolutely insane.
But he was in Game of Thrones, wasn't he, Momoa, as well? So hasn't he got that sort of cachet to it as well?
Yeah.
Michael Keaton was in Beetlejuice.
Well, apparently they're doing a Beetlejuice sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's talk of Jenna Ortega being in it, isn't she?
Which is like,
right.
She's going to be one of those that's in everything now, isn't she?
Who's she?
She played Wednesday on the Netflix series, Wednesday Addams.
With the dance that's everywhere.
Yeah.
No.
In fact, didn't she? She could be Batman.
I have no idea. I don't know. Yeah.
How is it that? Whatever it is that Adam West does.
I mean, the original aside, there's only one Addams family, and that's the 90s one with Raul Julia and Angelica Houston. You know, they
I do have a soft spot for that.
Yeah, that is a good film.
The second one's not very good, but still.
Wolverine's mentioned a film called 9 Songs. And if it's the same film I'm thinking of, that's a very, very, very naughty film. It's a very naughty film. It's got the actor that was in Emmerdale in it. And it has actual, but for real, not simulated. Very
Is it
naughty.
the 2004 one?
You what?
Is it the 2004 one?
I don't know when it came out. It's a film. Let me just...
Margot Stilley, Kieran O'Brien.
That's it, Kieran O'Brien. Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, 2004. Yeah, it's that one. It's a rather naughty film.
Okay.
It was one of those. I think it was. Well, it will have been years back. It was like on Channel 5. I think it was maybe in late-ish on at night.
Studio Canal.
Yeah,
they distributed it actually.
It was like, when you're channel flicking, it's like, oh, what's that? Oh, right, okay. Let's put something else on.
Okay, then. Okay. Yes, Amber is going to be the issue with Aquaman. If it fails miserably, it's her fault. We'll see. I've seen the rumours and everything, and we won't know until it comes out, will we? We won't know till it comes out. I haven't seen Human Centipede either. The premise is enough to put me off.
Yeah, I think with some horror films and things like that, I think it's just if your selling point for a horror film is just the ooh or icky factor, then it's not really, you want something a bit more intelligent than that, a bit more kind of like, clever than just.
Watched one on Netflix last week with Gene, actually. It's a Korean one, and it's called Unlocked. And it's a young lass who she drops her mobile phone on the bus, and someone picks it up. It's password protected; he can't get into it. So he keeps hold of it until one of her friends rings, so that he can answer it. But product placement there.
No,
he has it set up right next to a speaker so that as he answers it, he's got an AI voice pre-recorded with a load of answers there, which he can just keep pressing, and it'll say them to her. And it's like, oh yeah, well she lost this phone and I found it and picked it up. Can you give me her details so I can take it back to her? Oh, we'll just bring it to my workplace and I'll pass it on to it. No, I've dropped it and the screen's broken, so I want to take it and have it repaired for her, and she can pick it up from the repair shop. It's actually his own repair shop. Yeah. So when she comes in, I just need you to sign this. So he gets her name. And then he fixes it for her, gives it to her. But when he's fixed it, he's also cloned it. And he's got everything. Once she gives him the password so that he can check it, make sure it's working after he's done replace the screen, he's got everything. He's got a Facebook, he's got her Instagram, he's got a Twitter, he's got her home details, he's got her parents' numbers, everyone she knows, he's got. And is that a good thriller? Yes. And it's just a simple premise. Don't get me wrong, I understand that there's
does
a lot
he
of
actually
conveniences there.
does he actually duo with that information?
Oh God, yes. Yes. He
Right.
stalks her. He manages to separate her from her friends by letting her know that, because he works in the industry of repairing phones and knowing viruses and everything. Someone you know has put a virus on your phone, and they can do this, that, and the other. He gets her sacked. Through sacking her, getting her sacked, and telling her it's someone she knows. The only person she knows that could possibly have done it is her best friend, who's always there with her. He gets her to piss her off, and then he goes and captures her dad, beats him to a pulp, keeps him prisoner until he captures her, and then fills the bath up with water with her dad's hands tied behind his head, taped up mouth, so he's only got his nose to breathe out of, throws her on top of him, so it's her that's drowned in her own father.
Delightful.
While she's tied. Yeah, it's just the ideas. It's stuff that's genuinely terrifying and awful to think about, and they just do it. You know, instead of just doing the same thing over and over again. Oh, stabby, stabby, stabby. Genuinely terrifying. It's really, really good. Really good film. They managed to catch him and she gets away. But yeah, very, very good film. And no, TJ, I will not be adding 9 songs to my playlist.
Gents, I think we ought to call it a night, really.
What do you think of
tired
the
old bloke?
Don't know. I'm not up on. I haven't seen the last John Wick yet.
I've only seen the first two, and I must admit, by the time I got to the end of the second
TJ.
John Wick film, I thought, yeah, the premise of this is already a bit thin.
Yes, yeah, no, I agree. TJ's just had a phone fixed.
Fixed.
I'm not sure what you mean there, Wolverine Logan.
A bit like you on Netflix.
I like what's on Netflix at the moment because they're showing me things that I won't be able to see otherwise. But it's to each their own, isn't it? But yeah, I think we're all getting a bit tired. I can almost see your eyelids drooping, Andy.
Yeah.
So, are we going to call it a night, gentlemen?
We are, yeah. I want a cup of tea and a bag of crisps.
Well, I want to finish my rum and coke.
I will briefly mention before we go.
Oh, go on then, go on.
I think for the next show and tell, I may discuss briefly something Andy mentioned earlier on about games. Yeah, you'd mentioned about a Macross or Gundam game, arcade game. So I may bring up the subject of crossovers, so games.
Okay.
Yeah. So, franchise games on early platforms.
Early platforms, okay. Interesting. There was an arcade game I used to love playing, which was actually a crossover, something we discussed earlier this evening. So I can certainly chat about that.
I've done 2.5 hours tonight.
Yeah.
Was it 11:30?
Yeah, it is.
Should we keep it going for another 40 seconds and just flash that to an hour limit?
What, to get it to exactly 2.5 hours?
How long does the outro take?
Do I do it? I do an outro, don't I?
I think you do. I think it's quite loud as well, so I've got my finger on the mute button.
It's only 15 seconds.
Team or Lego
people.
Oh yes, that was
Oh
your
yeah, how's that?
Lego people.
How have they turned out?
They're awesome. They're great at them. They're really
That
nice.
is a lovely Pride collection you've got there.
They're not Pride. They are not Pride. They
That has
couldn't
to
be
be
further
Pride.
away from Pride if you tried.
They look like Pride.
No, they don't.
Well, we've made it past the 2.5 hour stage.
And on that bombshell,
I disassociate myself with Pride and all its related indices and trademarks.
Right then, guys. Well, good night, everyone. We will catch you again in 2 weeks' time.
Yep. See you later.
All right. Good night.
Good night.